The Real Estate Photography Podcast is brought to you by tourbuzz.net, high-definition virtual tour and photograph hosting, now with interactive floor plans. Sign up for your free trial today. Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Photography Podcast with Mike Muriello. This is episode 127, post-production tip number 3. So in this episode, I just want to show you how to reduce the brightness of a couple of windows that are clearly blown out. Basically, what I've done here is I've taken 7 exposures of a nice place, and then I've fused them into this. So once again, here's your first exposure, and there's your fused. Now, there's a problem, and I think you can see it. There's probably actually a couple problems with this. First off, the entire view is blown out. It's not good at all. And then there's this little bit of glare thing over here. Not the end of the world. But what you can do to recover this is, unfortunately, you have to plan ahead, because at -3 in terms of bracketing, this is still your view. It's still way blown out, and I think this was taken at 1/160th of a second. Plants are alright, but the view is still bad. So what I did was I popped off one at 1/1000th of a second. Our plants are gone, but our view is intact. So we need to go ahead and kind of put these together, put that one and that one together. So what we do is we take it in Photoshop, put them both in the same, file and whatnot, make it visible, make a layer, and then we cover that up. Oops. Okay. So this is going to be really, really ugly. But anyway, you just paint that back on and kind of get some of that back. Now, I would be taking my time, obviously, if I were to do this for real. In fact, when I did do this for real, it took me about an hour and a half in post-production to get everything right. So, I've said this before. The benefit of exposure fusion in the field is that you can be very efficient. You can move quickly from one place to another. But the downside is that you're going to spend most of your time sitting in front of a computer. And if that's what you want, that's fine. I'm okay with that. It's not the end of the world. But anyway, so we've got our view. So what we need to do is bring back some of those plants. So we bring our flow down to about 10% or so, and bring them back. But they're fake looking. They're really, really fake looking. So if we wanted to do this correctly, what we would do is we'd get this one. This is our -3. And we'd bring that one into Photoshop as well and basically mask that off. So we'd have good plants, good view, but it still doesn't look right. It looks super fake, so we're going to bring it down. And we're losing the view every time we bring this down in our opacity, but that's incredibly important because we don't want it to look painted on. It can't be fake looking. It is brighter outside than it is on the inside. So maybe about 70-some%, and keep in mind, you have to imagine that is actually the way it should look with those plants. But for the most part, I mean, for our tutorial's sake, this is how you do it. Same thing down here. You just mask off that. This glare here can also be gotten rid of just the same way. There we go. I tapped it a few times. At 11%, just tapped it a few times. That basically brings back this black part right there. Now, yeah, it's not perfect. And in retrospect, thinking about this, what I should have done, a couple of things. You see that shadow up there? It's coming from that light. I'm not a big fan of it. What I am a fan of is the organic light that's coming in from this big open space, coming in and filling up the room. I really like that. But what I should have done was pop off a flash to my left to where I was, diffused, not hard flash. You never just want to use a bare flash just pointing because you're going to get all these hard edges, just like you would in a portrait. Think of it the same way. You want to diffuse that thing, maybe with a bed sheet, something very large, and you'd want that at a very, very low power, and just to fill in those tiny bits of shadows, and basically give some light to this side of the cabinet. That definitely needs some light, and I can't go back and do that again, but live and learn. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good one.